Hey, welcome to the Hutchinson House Reacts. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm Leah Marlene, and my white privilege is not working. Bidenomics is working. My white privilege is not. And these ladies on The View are so disconnected. We already know that. I know. I can't leave them alone because they actually have a following and people actually believe what they say and people actually like their intro music. That music drives me nutty, but that's a whole nother topic. This gets my blood boiling because they are so disconnected. We're going to fact check them on some of the things that they're attacking Trump about, attacking all the millions of voters who voted for Trump. And watch how Sunny Hostin has no idea about where eggs comes from. She thinks they come from Canada. She thinks corn comes from other countries. Well, the problem is that right now it does. But guess what, Sunny Hostin? There's a lot of farmers here that have been put out of business because of this Bidenomics. And I'm going to talk more about why Bidenomics is working and my white privilege is not. So let's get into it with these ladies on The View. Watch.
Going to be finding out now that the promises that he made, he's just not going to keep them, right? And for people who think that he knows anything about the price of groceries is just ridiculous. Do you really think he goes to the grocery store? Do you think he knows cereal costs about $7 sometimes? Do you think he knows that eggs cost about $3.65? Do you think he knows that milk is up to like $4.14? You know what I know? Because I was just in the grocery store because my kids are coming home and they eat a lot. He doesn't do that kind of thing. Prices are going to go up, not down, because he's talking about these tariffs and the tariffs, prices, eggs going up, milk going up, cereal going up. We import a lot of things, corn especially going to go up. Tariffs on Canada. Do you know that Canada gives us, we import so much petroleum from Canada. 20% of our gas comes from Canada.
I got to stop right there, Sunny. First of all, that's the problem. Do you know that the United States has the most liquid gold of any place in the world? Do you know that under Bidenomics, we haven't been using it? Do you know that that's why gas and oil prices are so high, Sunny? Do you know that Trump ran on that? Do you know how many jobs were eliminated when we stopped using our own natural resources, Sunny? Do you know that we produce eggs here? See, Sunny doesn't have any idea. She's so proud because she went to the grocery store for once. Good job, Sunny. Good job. In one of the episodes, she talked about, I'm worried about my mom. You know, I'm not worried about me, but I'm worried about my mom financially because she's on a fixed income. Well, then, Sunny, help your mom. This is how disconnected these people are. Help your mom because you voted for Bidenomics. Bidenomics had us outsourcing everything that we could produce here in the United States. Do you know how many farms shut down as a result of Bidenomics? Because of their regulations, because they kept outsourcing to other countries. Now, they keep talking about the tariffs, which clearly they have no understanding of what he's talking about. When you bring back jobs to the United States, when you encourage people to make products here, that creates more jobs. That stimulates the economy. Now, they also are so disconnected from agriculture. I come from an agricultural family. I come from farming, dairy, ranching. I actually talk with these people. These people aren't just hicks, you know, with white privilege, the way that they like to paint us out to be. These are good, hardworking Americans. I've talked to countless farmers. They always say, well, what about all the people that they hire to work on their fields? Guess what? They do it legally, Sunny. And if you're paying people under the table, that's the problem. That is not the American way. We all have to pay taxes. The people who haven't had to pay taxes, who are getting a free ride and getting paid under the table, they are harming people like me. People like me who you keep claiming have white privilege. I haven't gotten any white privilege. I've gotten slapped on the face for being white. I've gotten punished for being white. I've gotten yelled at for being white. I haven't received the privilege that a lot of these white people who have it, who I guess have white guilt for being white. And so they want to put it on people like me who are working extremely hard, who took out loans just to help my client base because they were struggling so bad. And now I'm in extreme poverty and debt. I'll just put it out there. I am. Okay. I had to get food benefits. I could cry right now. There is such a danger and continuing this rhetoric. And I'm so grateful that Trump is getting into office. Trump won Person of the Year, and I'm so grateful. He deserves it. They think that he doesn't, of course, because he was only assassinated attempt twice, and he's only trying to help people like me and everybody of all different colors. But they don't care about any of that because they feel so guilty because they've had privilege their whole life that they want to keep shaming people like me who are working our butt off. Okay, I got to calm down. This is just, it gets me so upset because they are so disconnected. The other thing that she mentions is that the cars being made here, that is another thing. You guys didn't listen to one thing that he campaigned on. The problem is we're doing all of these things in other countries and yet not supporting the American people. So he wants to bring manufacturing back to the United States. Now, if you want to make your product in another country, you can, but there's going to be a tariff on that. Why should we be subsidizing all of these other countries and not helping the American people? But these people have no idea where eggs come from. They have no idea where their food comes from. She thinks it comes from the grocery store because she went shopping for her kids. Good for you, Sonny. You didn't have your assistant go shopping for you for once. But that doesn't mean that it's okay for the rest of us. We want to bring manufacturing, jobs, resources back to the United States so people like me can survive. So people like you can survive. But you guys have no idea because you're making such big paychecks on The View that you have no idea what people like me go through as a single mom. You have no clue. But let's continue to watch, and I'm going to try to breathe and contain myself a little bit.
About $117 billion worth. That means our gas prices could go up by 70 cents a gallon. Do you know that we import our cars also from Canada? 27 billion. So this notion of, car prices are going down. No, they're not. He's a liar.
In 2 years, they're going to find out, and then it's going to.
You guarantee American families won't pay more?
Can't guarantee anything.
Is he walking?
See, and they take everything out of context. He can't guarantee anything. Of course, what they clipped out of that was he says, I can't guarantee tomorrow. He's a very smart man, and he actually cares about us common folk who've been bashed down for the past 4 years. I've had a business for 11 years. I was doing extremely well under the Trump economics. I was doing extremely well. I had a staff, I had employees, I could pay people. I was running a brick and mortar business. Once Bidenomics hit, I had like nothing. I have nothing. I'm now in debt. I'm at the poverty line below, actually, but I'm shamed because what do? I keep getting up in the morning. I keep working. I keep being positive. Where's my white privilege? Where is my white privilege? I'm just saying, I'm not saying that there hasn't been horrible things that have happened in the past where maybe some people did have it, of course, during the slave days and all of that. I haven't experienced it. My family has been through hell. My family has been through hell, but these people are so disconnected that they don't understand. I've even had to, sever some friendships because they're so disconnected. I haven't taken a vacation in 10 years. The only trips that my daughter and I have taken has been to go to funerals because a lot of people have died in the past few years in my family. A lot of it due to Biden. Yeah. Due to Kamala. Yes. So I've run short on patience. The only thing that gives me hope is the fact that Trump is going into office in January because this has just been insanity. I had one of my disconnected white privileged woke friends tell me, oh gosh, going on a 3-day trip isn't even worth it. I go on, 2-week vacations and 3-day trip. A 3-day trip to a funeral is our vacation. Okay, so those are the people who have some kind of weird guilt because they've always been privileged. I have not been privileged. My dad did raise himself up from the bootstraps. My dad had nothing. He's a self-made man. He passed away this year. This is why I started this channel. Okay, he did a lot of things in his life. He created a lot. He put me into private school, and we couldn't even afford milk, but I was at this expensive private school. Because that's how my family has done things. We have tried our damnedest. And so I am so sick of these people telling me that I have white privilege. I would like to get some. If somebody could hand it out to me, that would be wonderful. But I haven't received it. I just haven't.
Do you know that we import our cars also from Canada? 27 billion. So this notion of, oh, car prices are going down. No, they're not. He's a liar.
In 2 years,
He's a
they're going to
liar.
find out, and then it's going to change.
Yes.
In my
He's a
opinion.
No, you're a liar, Sonny. No, you're a liar. You have no idea how things work. These people, it gets my blood boiling because they are absolutely disconnected. They have no idea how us hardworking Americans are actually trying to survive under this horrible Bidenomics. You know, when Trump won Person of the Year, he gave a great speech about somebody not being able to afford 3 apples at the checkout lane. 3 apples at the grocery store. He said that should never happen in the United States of America. And it shouldn't. That happened to me. I had 3 mangoes. I made a short about it, joking, because I try to keep a positive attitude. Maybe not in this video, but I do. And I had to put away a mango. Do you know how humiliating that is? Is that what the white privilege that they're talking about? I'm not trying to guilt you here, but if you subscribe to this channel, it means a lot to me. A lot. Woo, thank you.
Look, for me, I was like, at least this is a real Time magazine cover, because you remember
yeah.
he used to keep
Barron.
a fake.
What was his
Yes,
name?
He used to keep a fake Time
John
magazine
Barron.
cover where
That's the fake one.
that he used to keep in his country clubs. And also, just as so you.
Well, and that's fine too. I'm sure you guys have heard of vision boards. It's like some people like to dream of things. And the reason that many of us like Donald Trump is because he is a multimillionaire and he wants to help all of us to be able to achieve that. So that maybe, not only could I afford 3 mangoes, but maybe 5, Sonny. Maybe I could afford 5 mangoes. But under the Trump administration, I bet I could afford a lot more than that. Under the Trump administration, I was safe. I could provide for my daughter in a great manner. Now I am in debt and it's been really hard to provide. So you know what? God bless him for dreaming. I'm dreaming too. I'm dreaming and I can't wait because this Christmas is rough. This Christmas is rough. I joke about it, but it's like, it's hard, but I guess they think I have white privilege. I should be just fine. But you know what I'm wishing for this Christmas? Paper towels, toilet paper, basic needs. That's it. And that's real. Okay, now you're going to hear Joy and how disconnected she is. She doesn't understand why millions of people voted for Trump. Okay, millions of people voted for Trump. Let me just explain it again to Joy, not that they're watching this, because why would they? But nonetheless, they voted for him because we want to be able to provide safety for our kids. I'm tired of hearing gunshots in the street. I live in a sanctuary city. I've said this many times. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of trying to provide for my daughter and just get slammed down and not be able to afford anything, even the mangoes I talked about. We're voting for Trump because we want to bring manufacturing back to the United States. We want to make America safe again. We want to make America great again. These are the things that he ran on. Obviously, they never watched a thing, and they're so disconnected from millions of Americans. They're disconnected from you. They're disconnected from me because they're in their bubble of The View and they have no idea. If I was making $100 grand an episode, I would still understand because I have eaten with the poorest of the poor. I have had saltine cracker dinners and I have also ate with the rich of the rich. It's been feast or famine. And I can sit down with anybody. I get it. I've been at the welfare office. I've been at the food stamp benefits office. I've been at fine dining. I get it all. It's been really tough because here I am selling a dream. I sell a dream to my clients. Why? Because I believe in possibility. And I know that what I offer matters. I know because my students tell me over and over and over, Leah, you saved my life. Leah, you're doing a tremendous service. And so that's why I continue to give. But I'm so tired of hearing these people who have no idea what it is to actually work hard, to work night and day, just on nothing, on a hope and a prayer. It's just absolutely sickening. So this is why you and I know we voted for Donald Trump. But let's hear Joy in her delusion not get, again, why people voted. Because we want prices to come down. We want safety. We want common sense economics and policies back in the White House. That's why, Joy, but listen to her.
I don't know what people were thinking when they voted for him. I mean, this one statistic really got to me. He lost during his term 200,000 manufacturing jobs. He lost them.
Yeah.
Joe Biden added more than 775,000 jobs. And people
Those were just people going back to work, Joy. Oh my gosh. You know, so many of my friends in different businesses, entrepreneurs in 2021 were like, why is it worse now? Well, that's because Bidenomics was really getting in there. 2022, why are we now going into poverty? 2023, why can I not afford mangoes? 2024, why are people literally dying of fentanyl overdoses in the street? Why are all the businesses shutting down? Why are businesses ransacked? These were all policies due to Kamala and Biden. Yes, absolutely, 1000%. So these little statistics, the way that they fix them and whatever, they have no idea what they are talking about. I seriously have to go do some serious prayers and talk to Jesus, because this is just absolutely asinine. What do you think? But let's hear more, because they're going to talk about white privilege in a second, because they have no idea why people are upset about the WNBA player bowing down to this white privilege BS.
voted for Trump. I think that they have been misinformed, misled by other networks. You know, people get mad at us. They say we're one-sided here. The statistics are
But I
here.
do think it was cost of living, because I think a lot of voters think of
But
the Trump
there were
but
more
just real quick,
jobs created.
they think of the
Okay.
Trump years before COVID. So like if you're judging it
You
by
mean the
like
Obama?
no, they're thinking of the
years?
Trump years before the coronavirus came and
The Obama
unemployment
economy?
spiked and the economy went to free fall. And it was a time that people had more money, whether you attribute that to him or whatever you do. But
Obama.
that's what people were
They're getting
voting on.
false information.
I think they were also voting on immigration.
No, it wasn't Obama, Sonny. Oh my gosh, these people, they just love him. Talk about kiss the ring. Oh, we just love Obama. No, it wasn't Obama. During Obama, I had ISIS come into my acting studio. Yes, I had an ISIS member come into my acting studio and want to be an acting student. He was using my studio as a alibi. I turned him into Homeland Security. That was during the Obama administration, because they had let so many people in during his administration. When Trump was president, none of those people were around, right? And it was at an all-time low, illegal immigration. There are so many problems with Obama. Obama is what created all this division and hate and racism. I had never experienced all this division and hate. Everybody was getting along just fine. Gay people, black people, people of all different colors. Everybody was cool. Everybody was really doing pretty cool. And then once Obama was president, it was like suddenly white privilege and you're bad and this, not. I mean, it was just, and we hate America. And they love Obama. Obama is what created a lot of these problems. It's insanity. It just gets my blood boiling. But thank God we have common sense coming back in the White House.
Turn all these people to the countries they came from. He's going to make the countries take them, or he's not going to do business with those countries. Well, the countries are Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. We've got sanctions on them already. We're not doing business with them already.
Right.
Yeah.
Hard to get those dictators to go along
in line.
Right. I mean, that's one of the problems. There's no deportation agreement.
Well, that's another reason why he talks to people of all different types all over the world. This is something else that they never understand, because he actually talks to people and can negotiate. He's a fantastic negotiator. Okay. This is what they never understand. So when he talks to people that we disagree with as Americans, leaders all over the world, dictators, they make fun of him. They make fun of Tulsi Gabbard. But this is what we need. We need somebody who can talk to people that even hate America and be able to negotiate with them. The problem is we have let criminals in from all over the world, and they don't care, because they're in their gated houses and their mansions, and they can all laugh at us. Sunny Hostin can just Hostin or whatever, Sunny Hostile can just laugh at us in her little white sweater. Well, it's not funny to us. It's not funny to millions of Americans. It's been dangerous for millions of Americans. And we can't afford to live. Bidenomics is crushing us. That's why we voted for Trump.
Anyway, Time Magazine also chose WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark as their athlete of the year. But Okay, here's the problem. A lot of conservatives are having a fit over her interview, and here's what they're so mad about. Watch.
Coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing Black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of.
Now, some conservatives are accusing her of, quote, bowing to the woke mob, unquote, for acknowledging her privilege. Why does this trigger these people on the right?
I have
Was
no
there
idea.
more to that clip? Because I'm a conservative and trying to be triggered, and I'm not struggling.
There's nothing to be triggered, and this is not the first time that she has acknowledged the people whose shoulders she has stood upon. I mean, the WNBA is a very young league. It's only 25 years old, and I'm on the board of the WNBA Board of Advocates. It's over 80% Black, and because of Caitlin Clark, which I think is who's an incredible athlete who looks like a badass on that cover.
I'm going to wear that dress to the Emmys. That's
yeah,
a
I
good
mean,
dress.
it's a good one. But look at this. Diversity does matter. Representation matters. People now see themselves in Caitlin Clark because white viewers have grown 156% year over year and 301% on ESPN networks. That matters not only for the white players, but for the Black players too. Everyone wins.
Because they're always triggered. They're just, you find a subject, what's the trigger du jour? It's like, it's like the special at Denny's. Give me the special of the day.
Yeah.
Look, I loved her answer. I have no idea, barely know what a basketball looks like, but I loved her answer because she's not letting these folks who want to turn her into some sort of racial avatar define her. She defines herself, and she said, I am very good at tuning out the noise. She wants to play basketball, which she obviously does in an excellent, excellent manner, has broken all sorts of records. If anybody else was recognizing pioneers of their industry who toiled away for 25 years with basically little recognition and very little pay, and she is acknowledging them, seeing them, respecting them, and thanking them, where is the controversy? That's called gratitude.
Well, the thing I was going to say is that she repeatedly recognizes that the thing I feel is unfair for Caitlin Clark is she's always saddled with these issues that she doesn't have herself. This is not, they pitted Angel Reese against her, and it was always coming down to race and all these things. Caitlin Clark said in that interview, I earned everything I got. Her stats speak for themselves. She broke records that were 50 years old. But recognizing that this was built on the shoulders of people, a game she admired, players and teammates that she loved. And the most important thing she said, actually, is that brands and companies have to invest in those players too. And she needs to keep making them aware of that.
But
That's where it's not translated.
What is wrong with acknowledging white privilege, though? See what's wrong with that?
I don't know.
Of course you don't see what's wrong with that because you think it exists. The problem with acknowledging that is that it doesn't exist, because then people like me, people just turn and go, well, she must just be stupid. No, I'm not stupid. I've struggled quite a bit in my life. I've experienced poverty quite a bit in my life. No, a lot of people don't know that because I don't present that way, because I don't have a poverty mindset, because I believe in the future, because I have optimism, because I understand that some people just don't get that in life. And maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. But what I do every day is I get up and I do my best. I try to be of service. I try to make these videos and be of service and provide value. If I am providing value to you, please do subscribe. This is what I do. And a lot of the time I work for free, less than free, because it costs me money. I don't like to tell people that though, because it doesn't inspire people a lot. I can't wait to give my full testimony when maybe one day I'm rich and famous. Maybe not. Maybe I will be, maybe I won't. I don't know. But that would be a powerful testimony to explain to some of the people that I've been working with that it was so bad. But what did I do? I got up every morning and I worked and I worked and I worked. I don't have a big giant team. It's me. It's me. Okay. I have a daughter. It's just me and my daughter. This is what we do. I have a beautiful family. I have a loving family who's also worked very hard. They all happen to be white. None of them have had the white privilege that these people are talking about. So the problem with her mentioning that is that it creates this illusion that it's real. It's not real. And there are a lot of white people who are living in poverty, and it makes them feel stupid, humiliated, embarrassed. Because where is our white privilege? A lot. Look at the statistics of how many people are in poverty in the United States, and many of them are white people. How does that make them feel when now not only are they broke and poor and can't afford the damn mango, but they're also supposed to have some privilege that they were never given? So the problem that a lot of conservatives have is that Caitlyn did build it off of her merit and her hard work, and she deserves that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't just given to her because of the color of her skin. That's the problem. It wasn't just like, oh, here, be in the WNBA because you're white. No, it was because of her hard work and because she also is contributing. Like Sunny Hostin even said, she's contributing to the WNBA because it's increased viewership. They should all be celebrating that. That is no problem. But the fact that she apologizes for it, that's not good. It's good to give respect to somebody and say, hey, these women have been doing it for a long time. That's awesome. But why do we have to make it about race? Why? We need to eliminate that. That has been the whole problem. That's what we have a problem with. And no, Anna Navarro or whatever your name is, it's not trigger du jour. That's you guys. You guys are triggered over everything. You're triggered over somebody's skin color. That's called racism. That is what it is to be racist. I'm so beyond tired of this. Some of the most racist people on this planet and in this country are the ones calling other people racist, and they're the ones that are providing jobs and doing the right thing. It doesn't make sense at all. I'm so tired of it. I was, in my brick and mortar, I had this one woke person that was working for me who was turning against me and lying about me. And anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I had a lot of people of all different colors. And I had 3 people on my sign. I didn't even think of it. It was 2 Black people and a Mexican person on one of my yard signs for acting classes. And I come in all excited. I said, did you see the sign? She's like, are you sure that's what you want on your sign? I said, what do you mean? I thought I misspelled something or the number was wrong. I said, what's wrong with it? And she said, do you really want to have 3 brown people on your yard sign? I said, what? My heart sank into my feet. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, is that really what you want to represent with your acting studio? I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then she would get mad at me for playing reggae music. And she's like, oh, I hate music like that. Guess who this person was? She was the first person to have the BLM on her Facebook. Oh, BLM, you don't care about Black people. And then she also got upset at me because I started private coaching a guy who had been in prison for 20 years, wrongfully accused, and came out. He was hilarious. He wanted to work with me as a stand-up comic. He was reforming himself. And she's like, really? He was a big, strong Black man, happened to be a really big, strong, good-looking Black guy. And she hated that. She was like, really, Leah? You're gonna work with him? I was like, yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, we're safe, but these are people who want to let criminals in. But she didn't want to work with a guy who was wrongfully accused, and it was all out in the open. It was all in the papers and everything. He was a really good man and really talented. I mean, that to me is racist. And yet I'm the racist one with white privilege. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't handle it. Thank God we have some class and common sense coming back into the White House. I hope one day that I can dine at Mar-a-Lago with Trump. God bless America. Okay, but now let's go to some real hope and optimism and what it means to have faith and feel good that you can create something and actually make money doing it and provide service and actually get paid for it, and that we are going to make America great again. I do believe that Trump deserves this Man of the Year award. I believe it goes bigger than that. He's like the man of the next 4 years because he's going to help so many people. I am so grateful. Let's check in with him.
Morning, everybody. It is official now. Time Magazine names President-elect Donald Trump its Person of the Year, set to mark the honor by ringing the opening bell. And we can take you there live to the New York Stock Exchange because the man, number 47, has now entered the room. So it's not the first time he's Person of the Year. And there is a bit of a tradition when you get to the cover and you also get to the New York Stock Exchange. So morning, everybody. I'm Bill Hemmer, Dana Perino. Shall we watch this for a second?
Yeah, let's do that. Melania Trump, the former First Lady, soon to be First Lady again. She is there. J.D. Vance as well, Ivanka Trump. and is that Pam Bondi, I believe, and of course Tiffany Trump with him there. Quite an honor for him, and also I got to say that's a good picture.
Yeah.
You're going to always want that if you are Time Person of the Year.
I would agree with that. I was just going over some notes a bit earlier today, and this is what we found, that he joins 13 other presidents who received the recognition. But I think we can safely say he's the only one who's gotten it twice.
I think that's probably true.
Going back to 1893, I think twice. And when the previous recognition went about a year ago, they went to the New York Stock Exchange as well.
Well, and also, Time Magazine for a couple of years had gone way off the rails in terms of its nominees for Person of the Year, their choice. This is a great choice. This is an amazing political comeback. And he also made some history, some recent history, winning the popular vote, winning those 7 battleground states. And also he's got the wind at his back right now, the excitement in the country.
Now, ladies on The View, this is why we voted for President Trump, because he understands what we've been going through. He understands how to actually bring down inflation. He actually understands how to help us to be able to afford food and gas again. And it's not by outsourcing everything to other countries. It's not by shaming white people for working hard. It's about common sense policies. And he's going to explain this story about this woman in the grocery store. Maybe you can relate. Like I mentioned before, I can relate. Unfortunately, I can relate. But there's no shame. And I hope that this video reminds people that poverty looks different than a lot of people realize. I'm not homeless. I'm very grateful. I've been able to maintain at least a little bit. It's been tough. It has not been easy. Thank God I have shelter. I have food. I have clothes. I haven't been shopping in about 5 years, but that's okay. It's okay. I haven't been on a vacation in 10. It's okay. Actually, I did do a couple trips while Trump was president, like short weekend trips. But in any case, this is one of the main reasons why this man won, because he understands stories like this. He doesn't make fun of people like this. He doesn't ask, well, what was the skin color of this woman? Because it's not what it's about. It's about humans. It's about the Americans. It's about people wanting to have safety and be able to provide for their family again. Listen to this.
Prices are going to start coming down because people can't afford their groceries, and they're going to be affording their groceries very soon. I tell the story about a woman an old woman, no money, went to a grocery store, had 3 apples. She put them down on the counter and she looked and she saw the price and she said, "Would you excuse me?" And she walked one of the apples back to the refrigerator and came back to pay for the 2 apples. And she left with 2 apples. And the woman at the counter said that was so sad. And when I heard about the story, I said, that should never happen in America. And it's not going to happen in America. We're going to do it right, to take care of our people. And we're going to do things that nobody ever thought even were possible. But we're going to have an economy the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And everybody's coming back to America. I saw that the other day at the cathedral. They're all saying, we want to come back. We want to come back. And with a couple of changes done by Howard and Scott and some of the great people up here with me, we're going to bring them all back. They're all coming back. So thank you very much. This is a great honor. And ringing the bell will be fantastic. And go out and get them. We're with you all the way. Thank you very much. Thank you.
President Trump, right before he rings the bell at the New York Stock Exchange in celebration of his recognition as Person of the Year for Time Magazine. This is his 2nd time, and it's certainly a coveted position. You can see how there's a hunger to hear from him. He's been very quiet since the election. Really, I think aside from the Meet the Press interview, he hasn't really talked to the press. And so this was quite a moment for him to be able to say, here are some things that we're doing. I thought it was interesting, too. He tells the story about the apples, that he heard about a woman. She wanted 3 apples. She could only buy 2, and it was sad. So he's going to New York Stock Exchange. And, of course, the stock market is on a tear, and he's excited about that. But still in the back of his mind is what's going on for everyday Americans who are making decisions about 3 or 2 apples.
Yeah, I would point out a couple headlines from overnight into the day-to-day. NASDAQ closed above 20,000 yesterday. Think about that. The technology sector in the American corporate world is on fire, closing above 20,000.
And again, The View, this is why we voted for this man. I wish my dad was still alive, because all year he was like, I just can't wait until Trump gets back into office. Leah, God bless you and God bless America.